Own sweet home, own sweet home. I dream of my own sweet home. Right here, right now, Amit Inamdar will show you how. Call Amit and you are set. Or just visit ownsweethome.net.
DRE license number 013555522 and NMLS number 236574.
Hello, namaste and welcome Radio Zindagi listeners. Today we have another exciting show with none other than Amit Inamdar. Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. You are going to get the power-packed 30 minutes of information on complexity of the real estate transactions. We always welcome you to call us at 510-770-1550 to ask a question on the radio. However, if you are unable to get in, you can always submit a question for a personal response. Just go to Amit's website, ownsweethome.net, and click on the radio show link to submit your question. And you can always find Amit Inamdar just by searching his name on Google. Hello, Amit. Let's hear from you today.
Hey, thank you, Renuka. Hello, friends. Own Sweet Home, and welcome to my show, Power Hour with me, Amit Inamdar. Real estate transactions, right? That's what we're going to talk about. Whether you are buying, selling, or financing are very complex. It's not just about getting the highest price for your home or the lowest negotiated price if you are a buyer, but to close a deal in a stated amount of time with terms acceptable to both the parties. Real estate transactions can fall apart very easily if there is no proper due diligence. During a typical transaction, I talk to 43 different people from 14 different industries to complete the 7 stages of transaction. My job is to execute and manage this integrated complexity in timely manner.
Wow, the way you are saying it, it feels so complicated. But Amit, how can it get so complicated? Buyer writes an offer, seller accepts it. Buyer gets a loan, seller gets his money, transaction is closed, buyer gets the home, right?
Of course, and those are the essential key elements of the successful transaction. And who doesn't want a smooth closing process? Everyone is happy when that happens, right? However, what goes into a transaction becomes very, very critical. The seller may choose to accept the highest offer. However, the highest price does not mean much, especially when buyer cannot perform in terms of the contract. Terms of the contract involve addressing various contract contingencies on time. So enough expertise are needed to make sure buyer removes these contract contingencies on time and without causing liability to the seller. Also, when I'm representing a buyer, I want to make sure my buyer gets enough time to evaluate his decision to purchase the house of their dreams.
So listeners, you are listening to Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. If you have any questions regarding real estate and loans, do give us a call in the studio, 510-770-1550, 770-1550. So Amit, just to understand the complexity more, let's just think of buyer depositing the initial deposit into escrow. That's the first step when buyer gets into the contract.
Right.
What can go wrong here?
Okay, a simple action like that can cause problems too. I've seen buyers who provide a deposit check copy from an account that is already closed because they are afraid to lose their money. They are not fully committed to the property or even the home buying process. Or they may not have enough money in their existing account, so they may give it from a wrong account, or even if they give it from the right account, the check may still get bounced. So many times the deposit may not get deposited in the escrow on time. You have 3 days to do that, and sometimes deposit check bounces, and you come to know that 7 to 10 days later, and you have nothing to hold the buyer against. And this is just about the deposit of funds that is supposed to happen in first 3 days of the transaction. Maybe buyer does not get the down payment or the loan funds that buyer was planning to arrange. At this stage, seller may want to cancel the contract and move on to the next stronger buyer. However, what if the current buyer refuses or delays to sign the cancellation? This may even further delay the selling plans. You see how complex this issue can get. and we have not even moved into the core parts of the transaction.
Oh my God. So what are the typically high-level transaction elements where the complexity that you have been talking about can arise?
Right. So there are many cases. So let's categorize them. I would say confirming and monitoring the buyer's ability to close, both financially and emotionally, is definitely a major issue. A seller's thoroughness to disclose everything that they know about the property in writing that may materially impact the value of the property in the buyer's mind is another one. The property title and the liens on the property, the inspections that go on like roof, termite property, the home insurance, the homeowner associations that have control over the given property, the natural hazard reports like the flood, fire, earthquake, fault zones, the appraisals, and those are, we hear about them quite a bit in today's markets. The escrow coordination, the home appliance warranty, notarization of documents, recording of these documents, and the list goes on, and that's where this complexity basically comes into play.
So listeners, if you are planning to buy or recently purchased or sold a home, we would like to hear about your experience. How smooth was your transaction? Were you fully informed? Were you given various choices to evaluate in complex situations before making a decision? Feel free to call and share on the radio and get the valuable advice and guidance from none other than Amit Inamdar. Number 510-770-1550, 770-1550.
Right. So I mean, of course, here is to help. So what you need to remember is there are many people from different industries involved in completing your transaction, the real estate transaction. And we end up taking each one of them, talking to each one of them during this transaction. Take an example of inspection reports. First, we need to understand the reports and the information. We may need to dispute some findings to understand the cost and the remedies and the timeline to complete these repairs. Most importantly, as a real estate and mortgage broker, I possess the expertise to talk to these 43 different people from 14 different industries during the 7 stages of your transaction. You have to know the language of their profession. You need expertise to ask right questions to get proper information and acceptable solution. And in any of these transactional stages, things may get complicated. So as a buyer's representative, I will make sure I help buyer investigate these. As seller's agent, I anticipate these things and prepare for right information to disclose to the prospective buyers. As a loan agent, I make sure both buyers and sellers are informed on the loan process and expected roadblocks, if any are supposed to arise.
So Amit, before we come back to the real estate part, can you elaborate more on the loan process? What can go wrong there? Actually, we had one show, I remember, one show on the loan process.
Right. And actually, we are going to talk about that again next week too. So let's kind of keep that aside, because complexity of the loan process, and it's a tons of things in there, and we will actually dedicate the next week's show on that. However, let's focus today on this real estate. We already talked about the buyer's deposit and some issues that may arise. Let's see what happens in title report. Title is like the ownership of the property, okay, and what's being recorded against the property. So we request this title report from a title company. First thing we check is if the owners of the property are the ones who accepted the contract. Most cases, there is not an issue. However, there are situations where relocation companies are involved. The public records show one owner who accepts your offer. However, there exists unrecorded deed where the seller has sold the home to some intermediary. And that's also true in case of a relocation company. And now their signatures may be required on the purchase contract. If someone signs on the behalf of a corporation or LLC, we need to make sure the paperwork is in order and the people signing on behalf of corporation and LLC are authorized to do that. So we may need a corporate resolution to kind of make sure that has really happened. Sometimes people are gives power of attorney to other people, and we need to verify those. In my 14 years of real estate experience, I had to actually cancel one contract since the seller was not the person selling the home. Of course, I was representing the buyer in that case. So when I'm representing the seller, I also anticipate some of these issues and make sure the contracts are signed by rightful parties and individuals.
Listeners, you are listening to Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. If you have any questions regarding real estate and loans, studio number 510-770-1550, 510-770-1550. So Amit, you are always you are always on time. You are always very diligent on in your work. So that level of due diligence is only possible if one possesses expertise to handle them. What other title-related issues can happen?
See, another issues that may come up in a title report are the recorded easements on the property. These are the rights of other people, other parties to use your property or walk on your property. These rights, especially the easements, cannot be revoked. Licenses can be revoked, but easements cannot be. So beware of two friendly neighbors keeping their fences open for easy communication, exchanging milk and tea and all that. Such unrecorded easement may turn into headaches if the neighbor sells the home or you move in and do not get along with the existing neighbor. Some easements are not that critical. Like, for example, utility companies have an easement to walk on your property. The airplanes have easement to fly over your home. And some of the homes that you see in this Bay Area have zero lot lines, meaning the wall of one home is the edge of the other home's yard. So there is nothing, no fence there, but the wall of the home is basically acting as a fence. And then the neighbor has right to come to your side to inspect whether his wall is maintained properly or not. So there are like tons and tons of complications that can arise, and we will know those things by just looking at the title report.
Should we take a break?
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
Have you joined the Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club. Membership is automatic once you buy your dream home from Amit Inamdar. He's both real estate and mortgage broker. One stop, no need to shop.
Oh, Amit Inamdar from Own Sweet Home.
Yes, that's Amit from OWN Own Sweet Home. Call him today, 510-364-6686. Again, 510-364-6686. Or visit ownsweethome.net. That is ownsweethome.net. DRE number 0135552 and MLS 236574.
Listeners, welcome back to the Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. Amit has a webinar. It's called a First Time Home Buyer Webinar. It is free and easily accessible on his website called ownsweethome.net. That is ownsweethome.net. So this First Time Home Buyer Webinar is a must for all home buyers, whether you are a first time home buyer or a repeat buyer. This webinar educates you on the topics related to home buying. And again, it's available on Amit's website, ownsweethome.net.
Right, and this webinar not only gives you the overview of the home buying process, it allows you to use the tools that I have to see how much you pre-qualify for, how much home you can afford. It lets you know more about the neighborhood selection, the school selections, and this pre-recorded webinar is basically evergreen webinar. So the concepts within the webinar are true one way or the other in this particular marketplace of the Bay Area. So go ahead, watch it. That actually has answered more than 100% of the questions of the people or the home buyers who have visited me for one-on-one consultation. And they said, I even answered some of the questions in the webinar that didn't know existed. So it also trains you on the things that you didn't know that you didn't know. Okay? So do watch the webinar. It's going to educate you, and education is the foundation of making good decisions. All right?
And then they can have a one-on-one meeting with you, which is, of course, free.
Right, absolutely. And then we have a one-on-one meeting to actually figure out your requirements, the needs, and other things. And based on that, and your qualification and those constraints, I do what's called a neighborhood selection for you and figure out in which neighborhoods you have a highest chance of finding a home in a short period of time that you can afford. All right. So, again, just to kind of reiterate, this is me, Amit Inamdar, and if you are in the market to sell, buy, or finance your home, you will get unbiased direct advice that will save you money. And that is my promise to you. To get hold of me, just Google my name, Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will know ways to find me. Having all your questions answered at one location and by one person means saving time, money, and having peace of mind that you are cared for by someone like me who knows this business. Today we are talking about complexity of real estate transaction. Whether you are a first-time home buyer, repeat home buyer, investment buyer, or a buyer who wants to sell one home and buy another, or a home seller who is moving out of the area, call me for comprehensive advice that will save you money. And if you have recently gone through a real estate transaction, you can always share your experience by calling your studio number 510-770-1550. Thank you.
So, Amit, how important are homeowner associations? You talked about the zero lot lines and everything, and what do you look for in their 3 to 4 inch thick set of documents?
Right. So homeowner associations are basically association made out of homeowners. Okay. So you are the ones who are actually making decisions for the whole community as a homeowner. There's a board of directors, and evaluating HOA documents is one of the involved process. HOAs have bylaws that govern the conduct of the association. They also have the CCNRs, which are called conditions, covenants, and restrictions on the property and that you are going to buy. So how you are going to, in which constraints you are going to behave on that particular property. When we look at these documents, we are interested in association budgets also to make sure all future scheduled maintenance on the property is funded. If they are not funded properly, in future you may get a special assessment. These may range from few $100s per month to lump sum one-time payment for the improvement of the community. We look at the rules and regulations to make sure the buyer's lifestyle matches the community standards. What if the community does not allow street parking and you have 2 cars and there are only 2-car garage? And you have 3 cars. Okay, what if you have an RV that you need to park? What if there are restrictions on number of pets and the size of the pets? All these need to be evaluated. We also look at monthly meeting minutes and the newsletter that the HOA sends out that indicates the concerns the current residents have today. So if you plan to stay in a community for a few years and then rent your unit, we also need to find out whether the association is going to allow that. If they are not going to allow that, then you need to figure out what other options you will have in that situation. Typically, homeowner associations, if the things get rented out too much, like more than say 50% are the tenants, then a lot of homeowners have trouble refinancing the properties just because it's no longer a homeowner association, it's more like a home tenant association from that standpoint. So nobody likes a lot of tenants being in a owner-occupied condominiums or townhouse complexes. So these are like some of the things that we actually look at. And of course, there is a homeowner's insurance that the HOA provides as a part of HOA dues. And we need to make sure that covers the coverage is current and the further any kind of construction cost or needed reconstruction of the whole complex in case of a disaster, it's very well covered.
Whoa, now I see why the real estate transaction is so complex, Amit.
Right. And see, my job is to handle all these integrated complexities for a smooth closing for a buyer or a seller. Just to let you know, we perform over 250 action items during the course of the transaction, communicating intelligently with all parties involved and explaining it to my clients so that they can make an informed buying or selling decision is my commitment to my clients. As I said before, we talked to 43 different people from 14 different industries to complete the 7 stages of the transactions. and we make sure your investment and your interests are protected in doing so.
So, Amit, you talked about inspections and complications a little bit in the beginning of the show. Can you elaborate more on that?
Right. So we actually had a whole show on inspections some couple of months ago, and we talked about importance of inspections in that. However, let's say these inspections, like a property, termite, or roof, reveal the presence of mold on the property, and a lot of times people get scared with these mold-related issues because some molds are toxic, some molds are not. Some may cause continued headaches, health problems, or even death. It is important to evaluate these issues further. Maybe the heating furnace is having incomplete combustion and requires repairs. In that case, you will need an HVAC specialist to come out and check the furnace. If you have a swimming pool and the water level is dropping, then a lot more issues may be popping up later on. Sometimes a slope on a land on which the home sits can cause foundation to become weak. Why even make it even complicated? A simple pest inspection report may reveal thousands of dollars of hidden damages. Whether to accept the property as is or to negotiate. That's the question. If you negotiate, how does one make sure all problems and the problems hidden behind the current problems are addressed also? A roof repair may reveal hidden termite damage also. Just because the seller has recently painted the house does not mean it's a brand new looking house, because the paint actually may hide the water stains that were on the wall already. So it's not always what it seems, and you need a competent broker like me to ask pointed questions to reveal as much information and details about the problem, so that about the house, so you don't inherit the problems in the future.
So, Amit, how do you help in all of these situations?
Right. So with the 14 years of experience, I've created a list of around 88 different types of things that may go wrong in a given transaction. I've seen them happen. I've heard them happen with other agents, and I compiled them together. I've categorized them based on seller, lender, buyer, title, disclosure, and inspection issues. Years of experience help me ask right questions to everyone involved in the transaction. This allows me to anticipate problems and prepare for the same. When you work with me, I have 3 distinct roles to play. I'm your consultant. I ask you questions to understand specifics of your situation, and I guide you. I'm your negotiator. I figure out what you want to accomplish in 3 different categories. One is your needs, things you must have, your wants, the things you desire, and the things that are nice to have. And the third thing I cut up, things that are not important to you. So we are not going to waste our time negotiating those. Things you desire and things that are nice are basically your wants, and we'll actually look at them also. Knowing this allows me to craft a individualized negotiation strategy and allows me to negotiate fully on your behalf. So again, I'm your consultant, I'm your negotiator, and finally, I'm the person who oversees all transactional details. I make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted, because this is a contract to sell almost $500,000 to $1 million or more home, and you want to have a peace of mind that you made a right decision in selling, buying, or financing your home with me.
So listeners, Amit has a first-time home buyer webinar, as we talked about before. It is available on Amit's website, ownsweethome.net. If you want to learn about current market and home buying, you can view the first-time home buyer webinar. If you are a first-time home buyer or just want to feel comfortable with the home buying process, do visit the website and listen to the recorded webinar. This will not only give you the overview of the buying process, it will also pre-qualify you, let you know more about neighborhood selections, school selections, and more. Link is located as an image on the left column. You cannot miss it. If you do not remember the website, just Google Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will get to his website. After you have visited the view the webinar, all your questions may have been answered and you will have new questions. This is when you call to have a one-on-one meeting with Amit for your pre-approval and neighborhood selection.
And that's typically the true power hour with me. Okay, so when you actually meet with me, you are going to get tons and tons of information, and you are going to feel confident about buying the home. So this webinar is a must for home buyers, first time or repeat. It still is a must. Okay, and so do go ahead and watch that. And weekend is coming up. My work days are coming up, and you guys are going to have a wonderful weekend. I wish you a wonderful weekend myself, and happy Sankranti, because we had a fun thing yesterday. So thank you again.
Happy selling, buying, and financing.